Yo, 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 what's good with it, Pack fam? This your boy, Mr. Check My Resume, here to bring you my watch list for the week of July 25th. So let's waste no time and get right into it. First ticker I have on my list is PG, Proctor and Gamble. As you see here on my screen, first thing I want to look at here on Procter and Gamble is the 122 potentially here on the week. I'm looking at a level of 145.09 for a level for entry. And that's essentially what I'm looking at here. We see we've got strong movement on the 4 hour and the day. So looking for that to continue going into next week. As things start to get close to this rejection level on SPY, I expect to see some staples start to push up in the meantime. So Procter and Gamble is the first one on my list. Next up is KO, Coca-Cola. All right, on Coke, got a few different triggers here on Coke. Like the way this one sets up. First off, if you're looking for a daily entry or a quick trade, you've got the 4 hour setup. You've got a 212 with entry above 61.64 on the 4 hour. And then also on the day, you've got an inside day looking at a 212 above 61.87 on Coke. And then if you're looking for a longer entry, maybe to take it back to this $66, $67 level, you do have this weekly level entry also above $62.65. So you've got three trigger points. The first two are relatively in close proximity with where the current underlying is. But also, if we have a strong week, you've got the weak trigger as well. And so that'll be Coke. And to keep going with this theme of staples, we're going to talk about MO. I did bring this one up on the watch list, like these two as well. Love it with my bros also seeing the same thing I am. So on MO, first thing I'm looking at is a 2-2 rev on the 4 hour above $43.11. Looking for this one to potentially take it back to this broadening formation level right here around $43.50. Also on the week, we do have a week level trigger. If the higher time frame week triggers, we're looking at a level of entry with a 212 above $43.29. And from that point, we're looking at a push that it can take us back to this next broadening formation level around 45 or a little bit under 45 bucks, with potential to push this thing in the $47, $48 range on MO. So I'll be looking at MO as well, looking at maybe some longer out, something to take it to the end of the quarter. So that's MO. Looks good. Next one I'm looking at is KMB. That is Kimberly Myers. So on KMB, very nice looking setup here. We do have a little bit of conflict on the macro, so we've got to get that squared away. But first thing we're looking at here is a 212 on the 4 hour. Looking at a level of 132.40 for an entry to give you that 212. We did close out with a hammer on the afternoon session, and then on the day we did get the rev strat on Friday. So we're looking for a continuation on the day above 132.70, and then Friday close gave us I guess you could say it hammered out on us Friday. On the week, we still were red. We closed red on the week on KMB, but we did get a nice push towards the end. So we're looking for a little bit of that to continue above 134.28 would be a weekly level reversal. But again, this one is in conflict. You've got green on the micros with red on the macros. So this one right here, you need to be cautious of. If we are bullish in the staples, sector, then this is one to keep your eye on. If we do get choppiness, I would stay away just because of the way the continuity sets up on it. So that's KMB. Last one is staples. I was feeling very bullish on staples this week, and that's Philip Morris, Prime Minister, as we call it in the pack. Looking for a 212 on the 4 hours. The first level I'm looking for entry above $96.08. Actually, I'm looking for this trade to really go back to this $99 level. Maybe within the week time frame, but we'll see what happens. But I'm looking first for this entry here I don't really see any micro BFs in between that level back to $99. So I'll be looking for that one, particularly on PM. And then that is my day trade outlook on PM. And then also there's a macro setup pushing back here on the month. We are pushing back to create a 2-2 rev, maybe going into the following week, next week. We can see this level of 99.96 as a level of entry on the month for more of a macro play. All right, next one is, let me move on over to the IT, information technology. And this one here is Visa. And if you all know, we've been playing Visa for a while. Visa was one we've been looking at. We hit a high on Friday of 218.07. We did have a very strong pullback afterwards, created an outside day. And we always talk about these outside day bounces. And so just like that's what we're getting here. So we're looking at a potential 322 on the 4-hour, entry above 213.87. And then on the day, you see we had an outside day. So we're just really looking for continued movement to the upside on Visa. And this is for a day trade potential on Visa. And we do have earnings, I believe that is Tuesday on Visa. Don't hold me to that, but it is this week. Next one in the information technology sector is Microsoft. And what I forgot to mention, and speaking about Visa, is that Microsoft and Visa are looking very similar to SPY right now. So it looks like they're tracking well with SPY. So again, similar setup to Visa on Microsoft, looking for a 322 on the 4-hour above 260.93 as a level for entry. And then on the week, we had an inside week. We didn't really pick a direction in terms of what the candles look like. That's because of that push down on Friday, but it was a very bullish week on Microsoft. So we're looking at a 2-1-2 on the week, above 265.33 would be the level for entry on Microsoft. And we'll be looking to push this one up here. I'd say close to 275, 270 range. If we get the continued bullishness on SPY. These are SPY dependent tickers. Can't have that. Can't have movement on these without the other. So staying with this theme of information technology, this is one we alerted last week for a long setup. And this is Nvidia. Looking for just similar to just the entire chip sector. They were just going off last week. Actually, the last 2-3 weeks they've been going off. But particularly Nvidia made its move last week, hit a high of 181.44. We did pull back Friday, came back to this quarterly broadening formation and hammered out in the afternoon. So we're looking for, looks like a TTO similar to Microsoft and Visa, looking for a TTO here above 173.33 as a level for entry on the 4-hour. And then also on the day, maybe a little far to go for entry, but looking at there's also a reversal potential on the day above 179.67. I'd be looking at it as more of a target than I would be as a level for entry if I'm looking at this in a day trade mindset. So Nvidia still strong. AMD looks very similar, and I'll just briefly touch on that because I do have that one also on the list. Very similar setup here, looking for a rev strat on the 4-hour above $88.15. Very similar setup to the Nvidia. Pulled back on Friday, had a bounce in the afternoon, looking to push back up to go retest the highs for Friday. It's really what we're looking at here on this day trade potential. And again, AMD and Nvidia are day trade setups. That's what we're looking at. Actually, all of these setups in the information technology sector are all day trades. So we already alerted the long setups, and these are just additional smaller time frame entries. We alerted the longs last week on some of these. So next one here is Dollar General, DG. This is one we've been playing for a while now. We had a TTO over the last 2 weeks, I'd say. So now it looks like we are trying to push back up to go test those levels that we targeted at around 260 or just above 260 in the 262 area. First things first on DG, looking at a 4-hour entry, which will give you a rev strat. Look at that hammer, beautiful hammer, Rev strat looking at an entry above 248.01 on the 4-hour. Also, if you drop down to the week time frame, looking for another rev strat here above 250.51 on Dollar General. Again, the 4-hour setup is more for a day trade, weekly potential trade, and this week trigger is more set up for the long entry to take it back to this 260, 262 range. So you got a couple different options here with Dollar General. Staying in the theme of consumer discretionary, we're going to take a look at Amazon. Again, we alerted long entries on Amazon last week. Now, this is a day trade potential or maybe weekly contract entry here on Amazon, looking at a 2-2 rev on the 4-hour above 122.60. Again, this one looks solid, and we have alerted this one long. So we'll see if looks like price pulled back after Friday's high of 125.50, pulled back to a broadening formation level. So now we looks like price reacted to that and it's pushing back up. So we may try to go make our way to this 130 level on Amazon. So that's what I'll be looking out for. All right, next one in the discretionary sectors is McDonald's. Big Ron, Big Ronald McDonald. It's our boy right there, Big Ron, you know. Gotta show some love to Big Ron every now and then. So first off on Big Ron, you know I was making distorting my screens like this. So anyway, didn't mean to do that. All right, there we go. Moving at a good pace. All right. So Big Run looking at a 2-2 rev on the 4-hour here above 254.08. We had a nice reaction off this weekly level broadening formation. Looks like we're pushing back up now, and I see this thing pushing to about the 256 level before we start to get into turbulence. Also on the day, we're looking at an inside 212 entry above 254.53 as well. So we've got we've got price in close proximity on both of those levels, and that'll give us continuation on the week above 256.91. So that's Big Run, and that is all I have for discretionary. So moving on out of discretionary and moving into industrials, we're going to talk about Fedex. So Fedex, a couple setups here I'm looking at. Main one I'm looking at here is the 4-hour as well as the week. The daily time frame gave us a very good looking outside day. On Friday, we had to pull down with a very strong bounce. So we're looking at 312 here on the 4-hour. Chicago set up above 227.79. Also, moving to the week, we are looking at a 212 on the week above 230.31. And we got first level of about 232. If you're looking for those day traders, for looking for that day trade, and if you're trying to take it long, then you're looking at a level of 247, 248 to take this trade on. All right, that's Fedex. You know, can't have a little Fedex without a little Lowe's. So we got Lowe's sitting up here as well. I actually make particularly like Lowe's chart better, to be honest. But looking at Lowe's, we got the 4-hour entry or a 4-hour setup here, which you could take a day trade on back to this 199 level. But we're looking at a 212 on the 4-hour above 195.79 on Lowe's. And we're just taking this one back to the Friday's highs essentially, and you know, very simple day trade. Looks solid. We get the bullishness, this will work out. Next one here is LLY. Talked a little bit about this one on the watch list call. We got a Chicago setup on the week. We got bullishness on the day as well as the 4-hour. And then we have the macros that are in our favor. So when we have all these things working in our favor, what does that tell us? We got a TTO. So that's what we got. That's what I'm expecting here on the week is a 312 back to the upside above 331.97. And I'm looking to take this one and see if it pushes to go create new all-time highs above that 335.33 level. I'm thinking possibly 340. as the next level. I'm thinking it's just going to keep bumping its head above on this broadening formation. You know, hits the broadening formation, gets rejected, comes back, hits it again, just keeps repeating the process. So, good potential short trade right there on that one. Now, if you want to take it long, also you can do the same thing. Just buy close to the money and get some time. I think this one will do the same. Just continue to trend upward. There's no reason. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with this one. Next up, going into utilities. First one I want to look at here is SO. Actually, it's the only utilities I have on my list this week. So, SO, we are looking at Southern Company. We are looking at a triple inside week here. We are looking at an entry on the week above $72.30. We're about what's this, 36 cents away from trigger now. So keep your eye out for SO off of this kind of squeeze. We've been squeezing for a while now. So like the way this one looks and sets up, and you know how I feel about utilities anyway. So SO, Southern Company, triple inside week set up on the week. Very nice looking. And got a couple of hedge opportunities for you all. First one I'm going to talk about is Vixx. That is VXX Vixx. You know how I like to play Vixx. I'm expecting a bit of a rejection here this week. If SPY goes back and retests this 400 level, I could see us getting rejected again there, and then maybe we take that leg down, or and if SPY continues to push up, then all of our other setups will be good. But in case we do get that rejection on SPY, we've got these two. First one is VXX Vixx. What you really have right now is only a week setup above $22.04. However, as the week progresses, this isn't a Monday play or anything like that. This is more so if SPY rejects us above this 400 level, this will be what I'm looking at to take advantage of that rejection and that move. Next one is UVXY. Very similar to Vixx. I like to take this one as a hedge, but also play it against SPY if we do get rejections or downside moves. So again, we don't have the setup right now. It's continuing to push down, which I think it will, but I think it's going to go and hit its broadening formation and then bounce. So at that point, you could see some opportunities to take it on the lower time frame. But as it stands right now today, we do have a reversal on the week above $13.12. But again, like I just mentioned, I believe we're going to push down some more, then hit the broadening formation on it. And at that time is then we'll see the opportunity to bounce. So that's kind of the outlook that I have on it. And that's all I have for my watch list this week. Y'all, do your homework, set your levels, and be ready to rock and roll tomorrow. So with that, I'll leave y'all with it, Pack fam. Peace.